Our next guest is the product of 9 years in San Francisco and 8 years in St. Paul, and is pleasantly surprised to have lived in Chicago for over a decade. During that time, she has been published by internet periodicals, performed stories around the city, and consumed many carne asada burritos. These days, she's pretty into speculative fiction, co-hosting Lady Livelit show Misspoken, and trying to write essays that make you feel things, or at least make you laugh. Please welcome back to Tuesday Funk, Rosamund Lannin.
Just a little. A little more. Yeah, let's spike that down. It is a universal truth that it is a good thing to have a friend at work. Someone to talk to. Someone to trade inside scoops. Someone to sit with at lunch. A buddy. A pal. A life raft at company functions. Yes, it is a good thing to have a friend at work. And Thomas came pre-recommended. My friend Adriana had gone to grad school with Thomas. He was nice, she said. And she was right. He was nice. That's kind of all he was. Average height, brown eyes, brown hair, nice face, glasses, pleasant demeanor, kind of awkward. Not a raging nerd or douchey bro, but just like mildly geeky. Thomas was the middle in every sense of the word, the epitome of fine. But he liked comics and movies, and I did too, so we started talking. We became work friends. Never work husband and work wife. I didn't want to take it to that level. From the beginning, I saw red flags. Sometimes Thomas would say things like, "Living in the loop is great." And "I can't wait to move to the suburbs where my wife won't get catcalled." And "I'm Catholic." When he said things like this, my nose would smart and my stomach would twist. Sometimes I would say something back, something non-confrontational that affirmed my life choices but didn't denigrate his. But mostly I left it alone, because I mean, whatever. So what if Thomas had no sense of Chicago beyond the Magnificent Mile? So what if Thomas was gonna peace out for Naperville the minute his wife showed him a positive pregnancy test? So what if he was really sheltered? It wasn't worth starting shit about. We were work friends. We talked about movies. That was our thing. It didn't need to get deep, but then it did get deep. We had lunch together sometimes. He convinced me to create a Letterboxd account. He got drunk on a boat at a company outing and asked me if I wanted to walk on the bow with him, which felt uncomfortably romantic, except it was to ask me if me and my husband would ever want to go on a dinner with him and his wife. I was being asked on a friend date. I said sure, but I felt kind of weird about it. Like, I didn't really want to hang out with him, but he was fine. It was good to have a friend at work. Invited Thomas and his wife to a movie I was already going to with a group of friends because I played safe. They never showed, and I was secretly relieved. Then our project got busy, and we talked less about new releases and more about deployments. And then the project got slow, and we drifted back to each other. And while the client decided whether or not they wanted to move forward, we decided our favorite movies of 2017. We tapped back and forth over chat for weeks, filling up chat with bubbles and ellipsis, and then we made a plan. When we got back from the holidays, we were gonna get Epic Burger, go to the second floor cafeteria, and compare our Oscar predictions. In the first week of January, we faced off, burgers in hand. Between bites, we passed titles back and forth. Lady Bird, Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, Get Out, Get Out, Get Out. It took me a minute to realize I was the only one talking about Get Out. I was the only one talking at all. Thomas was fiddling with a wilted fry, and he swallowed. I didn't see that one. Oh man, it's great! I'm surprised you haven't seen it. Seriously, it's so good. Are you going to see it soon? probably not. Do you not like horror movies? I thought you liked horror movies. I squeezed out more ketchup. I do. Why aren't you gonna see it? He looked down and crinkled his eco-friendly bag. Yeah, I don't really see movies like that. Movies like what? You know, political. Didn't you see Darkest Hour like last night? Isn't that like all about Winston Churchill? I mean, I'm not really political. Are you serious? It didn't get better after that. But I didn't lose my shit. I might have lost my shit. I might have made the following points in no particular order. I was relatively political in that I voted and volunteered and felt that in these garbage times it was important to say that this was important to me. It was about that articulate. I can't believe you didn't see Get Out. Seriously, Get Out was a really good movie. My voice only spiked once, maybe twice, and there was a minimum of sputtering. And for this, I feel a certain amount of pride. But even when you don't raise your voice, the silence remains. You've outed your work friend as what? A coward? A racist? A giant weenie? A little from column A, B, and C? But what now? We walked back to our desks in silence and parted ways without a word. I opened my laptop and stared into it like it had the answers. 20 minutes later, Thomas had taken me off his chat contact list. 20 minutes after that, he added me back. 20 minutes after that, Thomas showed up at my desk. Can we talk? Sure. We walked into the Zen Den, a room designed... We walked into the Zen Den, a room designed for meditation. We work in tech. It was empty, which was good because I had a feeling we were about to fill it with some not so peaceful discourse. He said that he felt really weird about our conversation. I said I was sorry that he felt that way. He said he had an ex-girlfriend in college who used to really rip into him about not being political. I reminded him that I wasn't her. I said I wasn't going to apologize because I didn't think I really said anything wrong, but if he felt weird about that, I was sorry, I guess. He said we probably felt the same way politically. He just felt like politics were really tearing people apart right now, and that was really sad. And I am making this exchange sound smooth and measured, but for full effect, insert many long, awkward pauses and a heavy avoidance of eye contact. Anyone walking by would see two constipated white people swaying in a fake bamboo grove, trying desperately to get away from each other, despite standing relatively close. And then I said nothing, and then Thomas said nothing, and I walked back to my desk. And within the next 24 hours, he unfriended me on every social media platform. I've never been scared of Ann Coulter. And this is not to downplay her effects. It's terrible that she's given free rein, like an angry, hateful toddler. It's terrible that she's given a platform, but I'm not scared of Ann Coulter. She doesn't scare me, and Thomas does. Thomas doesn't get too political. Thomas knows that it's always someone else's problem. Thomas will move and evade and unfriend until there is nothing disturbing his smooth, green lawn of a life. Thomas is legion and Thomas is everywhere. And in a sense, Thomas did me a favor, not with his movie opinions, those were always trash. But he reminded me that we have not entered strange times, we were always here.